Welcome to the recap of Elite Agents event that we had last Friday. Byron Lazine was one of the main speakers, and Byron Lazine lit up the stage. I literally had somebody text me yesterday. They were so scared from his talk that it motivated them to work on Sunday, something they hadn't done in a long time. We'll get to that. Ian, what was one of your favorite takeaways from Byron's talk?
Dude, Byron hit us all really hard when he said, this is the year that there can't be bedroom agents anymore. Because all of us felt that. I was like, bedroom agent. Gosh, he really went there.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to stop using the word scared, man. I mean, that's not going to be a good moniker for me, scaring people.
You truthfully motivated people by using truth and logic. How about that?
Fear is the biggest motivator. I think it was a good fear, right? Like,
yeah,
it's like going reptilian. You get a little scared, you gotta survive. This is survival mode, and I think that's the point that you drove home for everybody.
I mean, there's two ways to look at it, and we got into it last week in Austin, right? It's the fact that this is 2023 is the fourth easiest year in the last 20 years to make commission dollars, meaning there's the fourth most commission dollars available. So it has to be, if there's more of it available, then, it's the fourth easiest year, the way I look at it. And then the other side is we don't know what 2025 is going to bring. 2023, the fourth best year out of the last 20. A lot of hard years in there. The two really top years that everybody's like wanting to come back, 2021, 2022, they're not coming back. Yeah. Those were 2 years that were 1 out of 100. You get a pandemic once every 100 years. It's not coming back. It's not going to be that easy. It's never been that easy. There's always been a bunch of hard stuff that goes on. So before I went on stage, we were sitting out in the hall and we were chatting, and I don't know, I think it was Katie and Tim were there, and a couple other people were there. They're like, "Hey, what are you going to be going up and talking about?" Just the truth. I'm just going to talk about the truth, guys. And I'm not going to pontificate. I'm just going to lay it out there. And if you're, to Ian, if you're going to be a bedroom agent, I love that you brought it up. If you're going to be the agent just sitting at home like you did in 2021, 2022, yeah, it might have worked a little bit in 23, but those bedroom agents are already feeling the pain and they'll get wiped out in 24. Nobody's crawling through your window and giving you a listing in 2024. In fact, what I'm seeing Q3 going into Q4 now is that many sellers are interviewing 2, 3, 4 agents.
Yep. So
it worked for the bedroom agent in 21 because they were interviewing one agent. It's not the case today.
No. Yeah, to give people some insight on what we mean by bedroom agent. So what Byron was talking about in his talk was the fact that a lot of realtors post-COVID, during COVID, they would do video or do whatever and stay in their office, stay in their room. They weren't getting belly to belly with people. One thing that Byron has said for a very long time is that, hey, the best way to go meet people is just go stay at the same restaurant, eat at the same restaurant every day for 30 days. And this is something I thought is fantastic. Something I actually do. There's a coffee shop that I go to. Like when I think about, I'm going to go grab coffee, it's the furthest coffee shop from me to go to, but I go to it because I know I'm going to run into somebody. And so that's what he's meaning by being a bedroom agent. So one of the stories that he gave, and maybe I'll let you talk, go through your story. When he got back into the real estate market after kind of being in and out of real estate, was the fact that he would go to Subway and he would literally be the cheesy realtor, like telling people like, "Hey, I'm a realtor. Here's my card. Yep, I'm going to be that guy."
He was talking like 2012. This is like 2012.
Yeah. During 2012, after we had seen a market crash. So, one thing that stuck out to me, and Ian, I don't know if this stuck out to you, is that there's a lot of agents that kind of asking questions like, well, what should we do? Like, what should we do? And I was thinking immediately like, well, Byron just told you he went and tried to steal sandwiches from people by giving them his card. So
I got a much better chance making a fool of myself in the line at Subway every single day than bringing brown paper bag in or literally staying at home. I mean, 2012, really nobody's, stayed at home and worked from home. It wasn't culture then. Now it's seeped into culture and people actually do it and they feel good about themselves, and they'll jump on a Zoom and be like, yo, how do I crack into the high end? I need bigger commission checks. So I want to raise my price point. Well, you're asking me the question from your bedroom on Zoom instead of at the country club having a sandwich with me there, asking the question, and then we introduce you to two, three, four different people at the country club. Introduce yourself, meet some people. That's how you're going to do it. It's not going to be at your house.
But you got to realize there's a whole subset of agents that only started in the last 2 years. And so all they know is how to find leads, people on Zoom and connect on Zoom. They don't know, they don't have the social skills or the proximity to actual people these days.
Yeah, and it's, listen, so this is the market they know, and what I'm saying, and what I was saying in that talk is now there's a different market coming. And every market has its challenges. In 2012, 13, 14, I had over 50 listings to my name. I was carrying over 50 listings. Sounds like a great problem, but I only got 2 showings a week on 50 listings. It was nothing but inventory and no buyers in the Northeast. That was the reality. People in the Northeast know exactly what I'm talking about. And so is that hard? Of course it's hard, because you're having a conversation with 50 sellers every single week. Because I put into my contract, I guarantee my communication. I guarantee I will talk to you every single week, or you can fire me. Because they're already on agent 2 or number 3 by the time they get to me. Because think about it, we're going through 2010, 11, 12, 13. These are the dog days for sellers in the Northeast. So I'm putting that communication in. So I'm having 50 conversations with sellers every single week. Why can't you bring me a showing? Are you marketing? Are you marketing in the Wall Street Journal? Bro, that's like 5 times my commission check to market in the Wall Street Journal. I'm jamming Facebook Live. I'm doing every single thing that I can to bring the eyeballs there, but we've got to bring the price down. So you have 50 conversations a week about, can I get you to lower the price, to get 3 people to lower the price? Because then those would be the 3 that you have a chance to sell next week. That's a hard market. So is no inventory. I'm getting beat out on every single offer. They're both hard. Guess what? You signed up for it. You're a salesperson. You're building a business and a future for yourself. This is the foundational time to actually go and meet the contacts to make the business a little bit easier in year 4, 5, and 6. Because Ian, the people that have 2, 3 years experience, if they stick with it, if they grind it out, if they build 100 past clients, they're going to start to get 20% of that to turn over on a referral or transacting again each and every year. And they don't, year 5 is a lot easier than year 1 when you have that long-term mindset.
Yeah, what's interesting, and this is something that we've been doing in our business. So I've been relying heavily on YouTube for my lead flow, right? And over the last, I would say, really 9 months, Eileen and I have really made a conscious effort to go back and hit all of our past clients, make calls. And I have a bunch of listings coming up at the beginning of the year that all of these past clients that bought in the middle of the pandemic or the beginning of the pandemic or right before the pandemic, they're like, all right, now it's time to go. And so I would imagine, Ian is probably doing the same thing right now. But had I not been hounding my past clients, I would be losing business right now.
Absolutely. We just started doing these soft touch white glove service calls to past clients, and the reaction has been unbelievable, from people that bought all the way back then. And they're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not going anywhere right now, but love to have, either me or somebody that I worked with that deal in the past come over and just check out the house, see what they've done, do a home valuation. Uncovering conversations haven't had in 5 or 6 years, and it's going to create opportunities. Ian, jump in. You were about to jump in on that.
Well, one of the things I was going to ask is, I believe you touched on it, new agents in the market. I think it's a really solid opportunity for agents that haven't had a chance to build up business, don't have past clients. I think everything you said was good for them to hear too. Get out there and get after it. You can't just assume that leads are going to fall in your lap.
Yeah, and I mean, for those that weren't in the room, because we're kind of hitting it from a couple different angles. The message for new agents, all agents, by the way, because whether you're new or you're really just deep in the game, any level, the message for all agents at the end was the same. Like, the answer is the same. out of many is one. If you've got one goal, one mission, you got to get around the right people. And that was the overall message. And I'll get back to that. But I framed up the whole conversation by reading off about 6 or 7 different headlines, okay, that are in the news. And I think that these headlines are hurting more than helping, because agents are like, every day it changes. The volatility just today. So this wasn't in the talk, but just today, Zillow changed their outlook on the next 10 months from plus 6.5% home values to now plus 4.9%. So for everybody that's saying, hey, Zillow's projecting 6.5, you've got to now be able to know, okay, I'm going to be able to go back to those people and say they updated that projection. Here are the other projections that have remained unchanged. Here's what's happening in our market. But because of the speed of the volatility, how fast interest rates went up, how fast these headlines change day to day. And Jeremy did a great job. I'm here. I didn't watch it yet, Jeremy, but you did a great job on the hot sheet today. I know you did, just based off of some text messages, and I saw some comments. I think you already stole the hot seat from me on the hot sheet. But the CPI data come out. It's always changing. The volatility is more extreme than it's ever been. That's one thing that's different about this market from the time I've been in, and I started buying homes when I was 19 years old, 2003, 2004 timeframe. The volatility and speed of the information has never been greater. And so agents get kind of hypnotized by that. They get stunned. They stay in the bedroom, when I call bedroom agent. And the bedroom agent is just an analogy for not coming out and doing the business, meeting the people. And they just kind of become a door opener at the end of the day. If you're ready, you're low hanging fruit, you're floating on the top, I'll go open the door for you. I know how to do Century Lock or whatever it's called. And I can go through showing time and get you done. As opposed to, all right, I'm going to take the challenge of knowing all these headlines inside and out so that I can swat them away. And I know exactly how to articulate those in relation to our market. I'd much rather just put in the work and be the extreme of knowing everything and being able to debate it out, educate it out, whatever, than submitting to showing time. And, so that's the challenge. That's where we're at. Every market's hard. I gave the example of 19 to 21, bought 3 houses, 4 mortgages. I was the Big Short story, lost everything by my mid-20s, went completely bankrupt. Those markets are hard. I asked in the room who had been in since 2012, that time frame when we had the double crash. There was a lot of agents, Jeremy and Ian, from all new agents, and then OGs who had been in it a long, long time, and they've seen those crashes, and they had a big smile on their face. They're like, yeah, those markets were really hard. I'll actually take this hard over that hard because the commission checks are bigger. The dollars, there's more dollars with where home prices are. And so at the end of the day, the big difference I had from when I was buying homes, not knowing anything, not knowing anybody, not having the education, and I lost my shirt. And when I started building in real estate, the big difference between the two is I got around the right people. I surrounded myself with a community. I was part of my community, and then surrounded myself with a community of winners who had done what I'm trying to do. That's what I loved about the room, elite agents. Everybody in the room was tapping into, how do we make 2024 something unique for our business, a building block for our business, whether we're year 30 or year 3. How do we get around the right minds? It's what you guys are doing with Real, and it's what everybody in that room was all about. How do we grow this thing? How do we get better every single day?
Yeah, and I liked that you made those analogies because, in that room you had, it was impressive. I mean, we had 8 amazing speakers. We had people that were dominating YouTube, people that were dominating email campaigns. You had people that were dominating all different things. And so when you surround yourself, like, a lot of the questions in the room were, what do I do? Right. I was kind of shocked at how many people were like, I don't know what to do next. I mean, there's 1,000 different ways you can go. And here's the other thing that always makes me kind of cringe with realtors. Like, they don't understand that there's way more ways to make money in real estate than just selling and buying residential homes. There's so many different ways. And I think
That's right.
that's something that we all should look at and learn. I mean, just because it's scary, like learning how to sell a development, okay, that's scary to learn for sure. It's overwhelming, but learn it, because you could be the next guy to sell, $1 billion development because you learned it. And this is the time to learn it. The market's not easy, so learn something new.
I wanted to hit another highlight that you had mentioned, and it was how many calls were answered on the weekend versus during the week. That was huge, and I think that turned a lot of heads. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I see the data from Zillow. I see the data from Realtor.com. I don't see the Homes.com data, but I don't think that they have as significant of a call center as the two that I just mentioned. When you're talking about call center and traffic coming in, that makes up about 8 out of 10, buyer leads on the portal. And call volume is 2 or 3 times higher on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday than the rest of the week, depending on, the month and but we're talking at least double. So even if it's there's some years of, or times of the year where it's 3 times, but let's just say across the board, it's always double the call volume in any given week coming in on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm here. Maybe I'll get some fresh data because I'm in, I don't know, I'm somewhere in California. There's a beautiful Pacific Ocean right there. I can't pronounce where I am. Palos Verdes, something like that.
Palos Altos? No, Palos.
No, Verdes. I think it's outside of LA. It's right on the water. Anyways, I'm here. Realtor.com's here, and I'm really gonna push them hard on getting some data out of them because their traffic has been slipping to Homes.com. Total side note, but when you look at Zillow, who's got more traffic than anybody, and you look at Realtor.com, it's unquestionably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So why do agents not treat Friday, Saturday, Sunday as the biggest opportunity in their business? They start to say, well, I want to work during the week because that's when my friends work. Well, your friends went to, maybe you went to college too, but they actually went to corporate land and they got that boring ass job that actually has a hard ceiling. We don't have a ceiling, to Jeremy's point, where it's like, there's a lot of ways we can make money, but you got to build it.
Something I haven't really done in a while is run ads, PPC ads, click ads. And when you were saying that, I was like, oh, I should be running all my ads Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just beginning of the week, don't do them. The end of the week, just hit them hard, because if people are going to be calling and I'm going to want to be working on the weekend, or I have team members that I'm going to hand off the team phone to, that's the time I should be hammering my and now I'm thinking, man, maybe I should move all my YouTube videos to start coming out Friday.
Yeah, the thing about that I mentioned too at the talk about the ads is, we had some real talent. You guys, you and Ian had some real talented people share. Monica Church, 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Trey Serrano, YouTube expert in his community. He's going real deep in San Antonio. Eric, the broke agent, with his social stuff. Like there was a lot of great minds on that stuff. And I made the point to somebody that, hey, not everybody in this room should be trying to do what Monica's doing.
Right.
99% of the room can't pull that off. 99.999% of YouTubers can't pull that off. 1.5 million subs. But what everybody in the room can pull off is figuring out great content. Yes, what they were talking about. And then 2, figuring out an ad strategy behind it. Because you can take the same video, put it up organically, and then keep one unlisted and run ads on that. Yep. You can have the same video going twice, one with ads, one without, if you're worried about hurting, yourself organically. There's a real ad strategy everybody should be looking at. Listen, Zillow didn't become the biggest brand in real estate. Jimmy Mackin mentioned it in the morning when he was on, where he said Zillow is now the most Googled word in real estate since 2017. They didn't become that by building TikTok videos or social media. Zillow built it by Google pay-per-click ads. That was exactly how they built their business. And it's very relevant for everybody's community still today. And YouTube pre-roll ads are very relevant, but also just whether it's like, okay, I've got the investment to do that or to do any of this other stuff. Just being out in the arena on Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays, not the soccer arena. I know people want to watch their kids play soccer. I get it. But actually the arena of real estate, of selling, of meeting people, that's when they're all out there. That's when they want it. That's when they have the time. When you say after a showing, hey, you want to go grab a cup of coffee? I know this place around the corner. Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, they don't want to do that. They're living their life. They're busy. But Sunday at 10 o'clock, hey, I know you got an open house at 12, but yeah, we got a little bit of free time. We're not doing anything till 2. We can grab coffee with you. That's when you're going to build relationships with people on the weekend. That's when their attention on real estate is at its highest. I get more. I made the point in the room that the mothers are already typically, most of the time, especially single mothers I see, are kicking everybody's ass in real estate. They're just more efficient with their time. When it's time to work, they're getting a lot done. When it's time to pick up their kids, they're getting a lot done. They've got to fit a lot into a small bag. You know, they're just on a high speed all the time. So I get down the most on like single dudes, and people that are just single don't have responsibilities. And I had an argument recently with an agent who said, you know, that's not fair. Everybody doesn't want to have kids, but you always make it sound like people with kids have it harder than people without kids. But maybe some people don't want to have kids, but they've got friends and things to do. Yeah, well, that's not a real responsibility. I'm sorry.
No.
Having friends is not taking care of a human life. So
Yeah.
I discredit that openly, discredit that as an excuse. And you have no excuse if you're single. If you're young and single and coming into this business, wow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday should look like 12 to 14 hours a day. You build a dominant business, you can do anything you want with that. To Jeremy's point, new development, home flipping, building a team, building a company, building with you guys at Real. There's so many different ways to do it, but you gotta be an expert at the craft, and you become an expert by that foundation, just pouring into the weekends the first couple of years.
There are too many people that think that flexibility is still the primary goal of being a real estate agent.
Yeah, and if it's like, okay, I only need to make $40,000 a year, then okay, then the flexibility is your answer. Like, you can have the flexibility. I guess I'm too often coming from the mindset of how I think about salespeople, driven, wanting to create something special, wanting to create something bigger than they've ever seen in their life, break their family tree. That's how I always think about it. I know not everybody does. So yeah, if the goal's 40 or 50, I don't know. If the goal's 40 or 50, why the hell would you want to do this? Right. I mean, then just go do something a lot easier.
I mean, I used to work at Costco. You can make 50 grand a year working at Costco. I was in there yesterday.
Free hot dogs.
Dude, no, you get fired for eating hot dogs for free. I worked there. I can tell you. I was in there and I'm looking at all the people that I used to work with. I mean, years ago, we're talking 10 years ago, and they're all great people. This is no knock on them, but I was just like, there's no way on God's green earth that I could have done this for the last 10 years. I mean, I did it for 14 years, but I was like, can I imagine doing this for 24 years? Like, I would have, like, how I would have ended it a long time ago if I had to do that.
And some people do. I mean, I was in the same spot. I shared that story working at a nuclear power plant. Somebody came up to me and was like, I thought you were like a silver spooner, is what she said. I was like, really? Dad's a mechanic, mom's a hairdresser, but I don't tell that story enough, right? And I was working at that power plant, completely hating my job, and I was making pretty decent money actually for what it was, but I knew there was something more. And so when I give this type of advice of like, you know, grinding out the weekends in the beginning, creating a foundation, it's for the people that want more, that want to get better truly every single day. Want to take control of the opportunities that they have, and you can do it in every market, despite the fact that this will be a hard one in 24.
I do want to say that even though it sounded like a hard truth, people did leave feeling inspired. I just wanted to reiterate and piggyback off of what Jeremy said. People were really kind of amped up after that. And I think because of what you said, they listened harder for the next speakers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So we're looking at the reviews from it, and a lot of people. Let's see. Let's
I'm
go find some.
competitive, so if I'm losing, just you know,
Okay. So Byron,
am I
you were
losing in the reviews?
no,
It'll
no,
fire
no,
me
no.
up.
Let's see. Where were you? Was you this one following presenters?
Did
Who's?
you ask people to rank? Did Eric
Oh, you
come in
did.
last? Did Eric come in last?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. All right. So of everything. So did you? So the answers were definitely, mostly, and somewhat. Out of 37 responses, you have 2 somewhats, and everything else is definitely.
Thank you guys.
That's your
For
$5.
those that were there.
Yeah.
The two somewhats, hit me up on Instagram at Byron Lazine, DM me. Let me know how we can improve those numbers.
Listen, they went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
gonna hold you.
I would definitely say your numbers and Jimmy Mackin's numbers were almost identical. So it was good.
Jimmy's brilliant. I mean, he dropped so much value there. If did he give the slides to everybody?
No.
No, not yet.
But
No.
the thing about Jimmy and you, both of you gave a very pragmatic, practical advice where people can see the AI and the Google and all that sort of stuff and YouTube, and they can get excited. But you said, this is what you need to do. Just like Jimmy, this is what you need to do. We've been in this industry for a long time. This works in every industry. And so I think people needed that.
If you take some of those scripts Jimmy has and then clear the decks and make the choices that I was talking about, you put those two things together. I mean, man, $1 million in 2024 GCI gets pretty easy at that point.
Yeah, you might be able to sell like 700 homes a year. You keep it up.
Well, you could build something into 700 homes. There's no question about that.
I mean, it's sad we wait to the end to say this, but yeah. So Byron said, you said last year was like 670 homes.
Last year was over 700. This year will be probably in that range of 670. We'll be a little bit under.
So, and one thing I want to reiterate here, Byron does not live in Connecticut full time. He lives in Naples, where he runs a media company and a ton of other things. So, and my point at the beginning when I started the talk was like, can you imagine being in that position? And then Byron came in and goes, I'm having to fly back every single week now to stay on top of my team because times are tough. So if Byron's flying back and he's talking, I'm like, if Byron's flying back to take care of this, I should be taking care of my business. I should be working harder in my business. And it was a wake up call, I think, for a lot of people that the guy who doesn't have to go back and manage his team is going back. He's trimming the fat. He's making things better. He's tweaking still, and not just fully like, I'm out, I'm retired, I'm going to sit on a beach and smoke cigars.
No, I do have some cigars though right there.
Yeah.
I got some pretty good ones, but no. And listen, I mean, Jeremy, you and Ian, you guys have been on the forefront of building Real into something that's truly special, truly unique. You guys probably could sit back and do it too, but that would be taking from the industry as opposed to adding to it. You've got so much momentum. I would be, Jeremy, if you just went and said, I'm going to check out, I'd actually be pissed at you.
Yeah.
Because no. Like, you're young, man. What are you going to do? You're just going to like sit at that resort in Jamaica that you like a lot and eat lobster tails for the rest of your life? You can't do that forever, no matter how much, not even the biggest players in the world do that. And so, yeah, I'm flying back and forth right now. I'm flying all over the place. It's not that much fun, but I've got big ambitions. And until you actually know why you want to build something, and like for us, what we want to do with BAM is driving the hell out of me. And I'm competitive. So I look at the team and I'm like, man, I want everybody on the team to win in Connecticut. So I've just got a lot going on. And I think if you've got something to give to the industry, you should give it.
Listen, you said you want your team to win. I think 2 homes a day, that's pretty good. How many conversations do they have to make that happen?
So we get 600, around 500 to 600 right now inbound leads a month between a variety of different sources. And our ISA is a big help. Shout out to Ben. He set 129 appointments in what month are we in right now? September, so August. So
129 appointments.
In
Wow.
1 month.
129
That's
appointments.
incredible.
Yeah.
I'm guessing mostly on the weekends too.
Yeah.
I mean, the data is clear. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The numbers shoot right up. I mean, it starts on Thursday and it just starts going up, peaking, Saturday but still high on Sunday, but starting to level off again.
Yeah. You said to take Wednesdays off. This is my 7th meeting today. So I'm going to have to find a new day off.
What's today? Today's Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Okay.
Dude, no, I mean, some people need, some time off. And I think, you're building, something pretty special. So you're going to have meetings during the week. I got a lot of meetings during the week, but, I don't know if you're a real salesperson, real entrepreneur, you like what you're doing, find the energy to keep going right now, because this is where the big businesses are built. 2024. I think I'm watching what you guys are doing. I'm glad I got to spend a night and a day with you guys in Austin, because I see what's going on over there at Real. I see what you guys are working on, and you guys are real passionate about bringing the right people around you. And there's some good stuff brewing. I just love people that are up to some good stuff.
Well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate you coming out. We're going to end it there. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, go over to BAM at nowbam.com, BAMX, get a membership. We gave out a few of them. I have a BAMX membership. I'm in there every day. We do podcasts. In fact, we're doing a podcast right after this at 7, and I'm literally stealing stuff that Byron already put out. So it's the way to go. So Ian, last word for you, my friend.
I mean, my last word has to be thank you so much, Byron. You delivered so much value. It was incredible. Everyone appreciated it, especially, Jeremy and myself. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, guys. Can't wait to see you guys next time.